Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. Has someone ever laughed at your English? Did it hurt? Did it make you want to stop learning? Well, someone laughed at my English too. I still remember that moment. I was trying to speak. I made a mistake. She laughed. Not just with her mouth, with her eyes. It felt like I was not good enough. But I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. Because deep down, I had a dream. To speak English with confidence, with fluency, with pride. Today, I help thousands of people do the same. This is my story. And maybe it's your story too. So keep watching. You will see how I turn the pain into power. You will see how you can too. Chapter 1. She laughed at my English. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in the classroom. The teacher asked a question in English. I knew the answer. I was nervous, but I raised my hand. My heart was beating fast. I stood up. I tried to say the words in English. They came out slow. The sentence was not perfect. I made a mistake. Then it happened. One girl started laughing. Her laugh was loud. Others joined. I froze. My mouth stayed open, but no words came out. I looked around. Everyone was looking at me. I felt hot, like my face was burning. I sat down quickly. My hands were shaking. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. I just looked down at my desk. That moment broke something inside me. After class, I walked home slowly. My backpack felt heavier than usual. I kept hearing that laugh in my mind. Again and again. I thought to myself, maybe I should stop. Maybe English is not for me. I looked at the ground as I walked, feeling small and stupid. I felt like I didn't belong in that classroom. I felt like I didn't belong in the world of English. That night, I didn't eat dinner. I didn't talk to anyone. I just lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling. I kept hearing her laugh. I kept seeing their faces. I didn't sleep much. But then, something happened. In the quiet of that night, I had a thought, a small thought, but strong. What if I get better? What if I learn so well that one day, no one laughs at me again? That thought gave me hope. A little hope, but enough to get me out of bed the next morning. I looked in the mirror and said in English, I will not stop. My voice was weak, but the message was strong. The next day at school, I sat in the same seat. The girl who laughed looked at me. I didn't look back. I opened my notebook and wrote 3 words. I will learn. That was the beginning. Not a big beginning. Not a perfect one. But it was mine. I started watching simple English videos. I wrote down new words. I read them again and again. I spoke to myself in English when no one was around. I didn't care if my grammar was wrong. I didn't care if the sentence was short. I just wanted to keep going. Every time I remembered that laugh, I studied harder. Every time I felt pain, I picked up my notebook. That laugh became my fuel, my reason to grow. I promised myself, one day I will speak fluently. One day I will help others speak too. People say pain makes you weak, but sometimes pain wakes you up. It shows you what really matters. That girl who laughed? She was not my enemy. She was a test I needed to pass, not with anger, but with action, not with silence, but with strength. That chapter of my life was hard, but it made me brave. It made me serious, and it made me begin. That was the day I stopped being afraid of English. That was the day I started walking the long road to fluency. And now, I ask you, has someone laughed at your English too? Did it break your heart? If yes, I understand. But don't stop. Don't quit. Use that pain. Let it push you forward. Because this is not the end. It is only the beginning. Keep watching. I will show you how I turned the laugh into a lesson, and the lesson into my life. Chapter 2. I started with one word. After that painful day in class, I went home and sat alone with my notebook. I didn't know what to write. My mind was full of doubts. But then, I remembered a word I had heard many times. Hello. It was simple. Just 5 letters. But to me, it felt powerful. So I picked up my pen and wrote it on the first page. Hello. That was my first step. I said it out loud. It felt strange at first. Then I said it again. Hello. I looked in the mirror and smiled. Hello, I said to my own reflection, as if I was meeting myself for the first time in English. That night, I didn't open any grammar book. I didn't read big lessons. I just practiced that one word. I walked around the house whispering, hello. I said it to my pillow, my books, even to my cat. It may sound silly, but it worked. I was training my mouth to speak English. I was training my brain to accept this new language. The next day, I added another word. Friend. I had heard it in movies. Hello, friend. 2 words, a small sentence, but it gave me a big feeling. I wasn't just saying words. I was building something. A new version of myself. Someone who could speak English. I wrote more simple words. Book, water, thank you, sorry. I wrote them in big letters. I drew little pictures next to them. It helped me remember. I spoke the words again and again. I didn't care if I had an accent. I didn't care if my voice shook. I just kept going. And every time I said the word hello, I felt a little stronger. I used my phone to help me. I searched how to say hello in English. I watched short videos. I listened closely. I copied what they said. I paused, repeated, paused, repeated. That was my practice. 10 minutes a day. I didn't rush. I focused on one word at a time. That made learning easier. That made me feel in control. One day, I met my neighbor. I looked at him and said, "Hello, friend." He smiled. He replied, "Hello." That was the first time I used English in real life. It felt like magic. I felt proud, even if it was just 2 words. That moment stayed in my heart. Learning one word gave me hope. It showed me that English was not too big. It was not too difficult. It was just many small words joined together, and I could learn them one by one. That idea gave me energy. I didn't need to do everything at once. I just needed to do one thing each day, one word at a time, one sentence at a time. I remember sitting in my room holding my notebook. I said, "This is my book." It was a short sentence, but it felt like a big achievement. I smiled at myself. That smile was real. That smile was the reward. I had spoken my first full English sentence. If you are just starting your journey, don't look at the mountain. Don't worry about the grammar. Don't worry about speaking like a native. Start with one word, just one. Say it with love. Say it with power. That one word can open a door. It did for me, and it can for you too. So remember, it all started with hello. A small word, a small step, but it changed everything. And if I can do it, so can you. Keep watching, because the next part of my journey will show you how those small words turned into real conversations, and how you can do the same. Chapter 3. My morning practice changed everything. Every morning, before school, before breakfast, before checking my phone, I did one thing. I spoke 5 English lines out loud. I made it a habit. I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself and I spoke with energy. The first line was always the same. Good morning. Then I added, how are you? I answered myself, I'm fine. Thank you. It felt funny at first, talking to myself, but I didn't care. I was practicing English. I was training my brain. I was training my mouth. I found short English videos online, videos of native speakers saying real things. I played those videos again and again. I didn't just watch. I copied their voice. I copied their sound, their tone, their speed. If they said, "What's your name?" I said it too. If they said, "I'm learning English," I repeated it. I paused the video, spoke the line, and then played it again. I wanted to sound just like them. This technique is called shadowing, and for me, it was a secret weapon. I didn't know it had a name back then. I just knew it worked. My ears listened, my mouth followed. I didn't think too much. I didn't worry about grammar rules or sentence structure. I just focused on sound, rhythm, and flow. Like a child learning to talk, I learned by copying. I spoke during brushing my teeth. I repeated phrases while walking to school. I whispered sentences while eating my food. I made English part of my morning, just like washing my face or tying my shoes. After a few weeks, something amazing happened. I noticed I was not just repeating lines, I was understanding them. I could say a full paragraph from memory. I looked in the mirror one morning and said, "Hi, my name is Alex. I am learning English. I speak a little now, but I want to speak fluently. I practice every day. I love English." I couldn't believe those words came from me. I didn't look at notes. I didn't check a book. I just spoke. It was real. It was clear. And it felt so good. That was the moment everything changed. I felt proud. I felt powerful. I realized that I was not just learning words, I was becoming a speaker. That morning, I walked into class with more confidence. I didn't raise my hand yet, but I knew something had changed inside me. I was growing. I also began to play voice recordings of my shadowing. I listened to myself and noticed small mistakes. Then I practiced again. Each morning, my voice got stronger. My sentences got smoother. I started to believe in my voice. The key was not learning everything in one day. The key was daily rhythm. 5 minutes a day. 5 lines a day. No stress, no big grammar lessons. Just real practice, real words, real effort. If you are learning English, start your morning with English. Say 5 lines, copy a video, repeat with feeling. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself. You don't need to wait for someone to speak with. You are enough. Your mirror is enough. Your voice is enough. I want you to try this tomorrow. Say, "Good morning. I'm learning English. I will not give up. I believe in myself. I am getting better every day." Say it every morning. Feel it. Mean it. Shadow it like I did. That is how you grow. That is how you become fluent. And when you say your first full paragraph, without fear, without stopping, you will feel what I felt. Freedom, pride, power. That's the magic of shadowing. It changed my mornings, it changed my English, and it will change yours too. Keep watching. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how I faced my biggest fear, speaking English in front of people. What happened next surprised even me. Chapter 4. I faced my fear and spoke in public. For many days, I practiced alone. I shadowed videos. I spoke in front of the mirror. I repeated lines again and again. But deep inside, one fear still lived inside me. Speaking in public. Speaking in front of real people. My heart would beat faster just thinking about it. I remembered the day that girl laughed at me. That memory still hurt. What if I made another mistake? What if everyone laughed again? Then one day, something changed. Our English teacher gave us a speaking activity in class. She asked everyone to stand and say one sentence about their favorite food. Simple, right? But to me, it felt like a mountain. When she pointed at me, I froze. My heart was loud. My hands were cold. But then I remembered my mirror practice. I remembered my voice. I remembered my 5 morning lines. I took a deep breath. I stood up. And I said, "I like biryani. It is very tasty." Just one line. Simple words. But that one line took all my courage. For 1 second, the class was quiet. Then something beautiful happened. The teacher smiled. She nodded. She said, "Very good." And then my classmates clapped. They didn't laugh. They didn't mock. They clapped. That moment changed everything. The fear inside me started to break. I sat down slowly, but my heart was jumping with joy. I had done it. I had spoken in public. And I survived. That one sentence became a turning point. I realized something important that day. Fear only grows when you hide. But when you face it, it becomes smaller. Every time I spoke after that, I felt less afraid. The next week, we had another class activity. This time, I spoke 2 sentences, then 3, then a whole short paragraph. My classmates supported me. My teacher encouraged me. They didn't laugh. They listened. I started to look forward to speaking in class. I raised my hand more often. Even when I made a mistake, I kept going. The teacher corrected me kindly, and I thanked her. I stopped feeling embarrassed. I started feeling curious. I asked questions in English. I joined group discussions, and slowly, the classroom became my safe space. Outside the class, I also tried to speak in public. I ordered food in English. I asked questions in shops. I started small conversations with people. Some replied in their own language, but I still smiled and used English. I didn't care if it was perfect. I just wanted to speak. And with each try, my fear became weaker. Fear is strong, yes, but courage is stronger. And courage grows when you take action, even if that action is small. One sentence, spoken with a shaking voice, is still brave. One word, spoken with fear, is still a victory. Maybe you are afraid too. Maybe you stay quiet in class. Maybe you avoid speaking in English because of one bad moment. I understand. I've been there. But please, don't let fear decide your future. English is not just for smart people or confident people. It's for anyone who wants it. It's for you. Start small. Speak one line in class. Talk to your teacher. Ask a question in English. Don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes are not enemies. They are teachers. Let people correct you. Let yourself grow. The day I spoke in class, I felt like I had won a medal. Not for being perfect, but for being brave. And you can feel that too. Keep watching. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how I turned my phone into a real English teacher and how it helped me learn even when no one was around. Chapter 5. I turned my phone into a teacher. My phone was full of games. I used to spend hours playing them. They were fun, but they didn't help me grow. One day, I looked at my screen and asked myself, what if I use this phone to learn English? That question changed everything. The first thing I did was delete the games. It was hard. I liked those games. But I wanted something more. I wanted progress. I wanted fluency. So I opened the App Store and searched for English learning apps. I downloaded 2 apps for vocabulary and 1 for listening practice. I also subscribed to some YouTube channels that taught English in simple ways, just like how I wanted to learn. Every morning, instead of opening a game, I opened an app. I learned 5 new words. I repeated them. I used them in sentences. Apple, run, happy, book, friend. I said, I eat an apple. I run fast. I am happy. It was easy, and it felt good. I started enjoying it. Then I found something powerful. The voice recorder on my phone. I never used it before, but now it became my tool. I recorded myself reading short English sentences. I played the recording and listened. At first, I didn't like my voice. It sounded slow, unsure. But day by day, I saw change. My voice became stronger. My sentences became smoother. I was not just reading, I was speaking. One day, I recorded this. My name is Alex. I am learning English. I love practicing every day. When I played it back, I smiled. It was clear. It was real. That was a big moment for me. I realized that my phone was no longer just a device for fun. It was my private teacher. It was always with me. I could practice any time, on the bus, in my room, even before sleeping. I also watched short YouTube videos with real conversations. I repeated the sentences out loud. I listened to native speakers. I learned phrases like, "Can I help you? Where are you from? That's a good idea." I paused the video. I spoke. I played again. This was shadowing, but with the help of my phone. I did it daily, sometimes for 10 minutes, sometimes for 30, but I did it every day. One of my favorite apps was a flashcard app. I added new words with pictures. I tested myself. I loved getting the answers right. It made learning feel like a game, but a game that made me smarter. I also used subtitles on English videos. First, I read the subtitles. Then I turned them off and listened. I checked how much I understood. At first, I got only a few words. Later, I got full sentences. That gave me confidence. Another tool I used was the Notes app. I wrote my thoughts in English, even one sentence a day. Today is sunny. I feel good. I watched a video in English. Writing helped me think in English, and thinking in English helped me speak better. My phone became my daily coach. It was always ready to help. I didn't need a classroom. I didn't need a teacher sitting next to me. I had everything in my pocket. If you have a phone, use it. Don't waste it on endless scrolling. Don't fill it with things that don't help you. Make it your learning friend. Download English apps. Subscribe to good channels. Use the voice recorder. Watch, listen, repeat. You don't need expensive tools. You just need discipline and direction. The best tool is the one you already have. Your phone. That phone helped me become stronger in English. It helped me speak better. And it can help you too. Keep watching. Because in the next chapter, I will tell you how I found real people to practice English with, and how those conversations made me fearless. Chapter 6. I found real friends who helped me. I had come a long way. I could speak short sentences. I could record my voice. I could understand simple videos. But something was missing. Real conversations. Speaking to myself helped, but I needed to talk to real people. People who could listen, reply, and guide me. I needed connection. So I searched online for English-speaking partners. At first, I was nervous. I thought, what if they laugh? What if they get bored because my English is not perfect? But then I found a language exchange website. It was simple. You talk with someone who wants to learn your language, and in return, they help you with English. I made a profile. I said, "Hi, I want to speak English. I can help you with my language." I clicked send and waited. Soon someone replied. Her name was Anna. She was from Brazil. She wanted to learn Urdu, and I wanted to learn English. We agreed to talk once a week. Half of the time in English, half in my language. Our first call was strange. I was shy. I made mistakes. But Anna was kind. She smiled and said, "Don't worry. Take your time." Her voice was calm. Her words were simple. She didn't laugh. She helped. We started with small things. What is your name? Where do you live? What do you eat for breakfast? I listened to her. I answered slowly. She corrected me gently. I corrected her too. We laughed together, not at each other, but with each other. Those calls gave me real practice. I learned how people actually speak. I learned to ask questions. I learned to reply without thinking too much. Speaking English became fun, not scary. After Anna, I found more language partners. One from Japan, another from Egypt. Each person taught me something new. Each conversation gave me more confidence. I spoke with people of different cultures, different voices, different styles, and all in English. I was no longer afraid to speak. I was excited to learn. I also joined an online English group. Every Sunday we had a video call. Everyone introduced themselves and shared one thing about their week. At first, I just listened. Then I started speaking. First a few words, then full sentences. One day I shared a full story, in English. People clapped. They said, "You're doing great." I smiled for hours after that call. Talking with real people helped me in many ways. I learned natural phrases. I improved my listening. I became faster in speaking. But most of all, I felt supported. I didn't feel alone anymore. I had friends, real friends, who wanted to grow with me. If you're learning English, I want to tell you this. Don't do it alone. Find someone to talk to. It doesn't matter if they are a stranger. You will become friends through English. There are many apps and websites to meet language partners. Try HelloTalk, Tandem, or just search online English speaking groups. Be brave. Send a message. Say hello. Start a conversation. And if they correct you, smile and say thank you. Because every correction is a gift. Every conversation is a lesson. And every friend you make is a step closer to fluency. Speaking with others changed my journey. It made me stronger. It made me believe in myself. And it gave me the joy of connection. So if you've been learning alone, maybe today is the day to find someone. Maybe your English friend is just one message away. Keep watching. In the next chapter, I'll show you how I made English a part of my daily life. Not just a subject, but a habit that changed everything. Chapter 7. I made English my habit, not my homework. For a long time, I treated English like homework. Something I had to do. Something with a time limit. I would study for a test, write a few sentences, close the book, and forget about it. But real learning doesn't live inside a school bag. It lives inside your daily life. I didn't understand this at first, but one day I did. And it changed everything. It started with small things. I looked around my room and put English labels on everything. Chair, table, mirror, door. I used small sticky notes. Every time I looked at something, I saw the English word. I started saying the names out loud. This is a mirror. I sit on the chair. My room became a classroom. My house became a lesson. Then I started thinking in English. Not all the time, but slowly. Instead of saying in my mind, "Main pani pina chahta hoon," I started saying, "I want to drink water." I trained my mind like I trained my mouth. If I was walking to the shop, I would think, I am walking to the shop. I will buy milk. These were not difficult words, but they made English part of my life. I also talked to myself, not in long speeches, just short lines. I would wake up and say, "Good morning." I would stand in front of the mirror and say, "I will do my best today." I said, "I am learning. I am growing." I didn't need anyone around. My voice was enough. My thoughts were enough. At night, I would look at the sky and say, "The moon is beautiful." Or I would write in my journal, "Today I watched an English video. I learned a new word, delicious." These simple habits gave me joy. They made English fun. They made English feel like mine. Soon, I started watching the world in English. If I saw a cat, I didn't just say Billy in my head. I said cat. When it rained, I said, "It's raining." When I felt tired, I whispered, "I am tired. I need to rest." These were small changes, but they built something big inside me. A habit. English was no longer something I studied. It was something I lived. It was like brushing my teeth or eating food. I didn't have to force myself. It came naturally. It became part of my day, every day. That's when I saw the biggest change. My sentences became faster. My thinking became smoother. I didn't have to translate anymore. I spoke directly in English. That's the magic of habit. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like life. I even started doing fun things in English. I watched cartoons. I listened to music. I read short stories. I followed English accounts on social media. I laughed at English jokes. I learned words from movie subtitles. I started loving the language. And the best part? I didn't feel pressure. No exams. No marks. Just growth. Just joy. Just me. Becoming better every day. If you're learning English, don't wait for a class or a lesson. Make English your habit. Make it part of your routine. Talk to yourself. Label your world. Think in English. Feel in English. It's okay to start small. One word, one sentence, one smile. Let English live with you. Let it grow with you. Not just in books, but in life. That was my turning point. When I stopped treating English like homework and started living it like a habit, everything changed. It became easy. It became fun. It became me. Keep watching. Because in the next chapter, something surprising happened. The people who once laughed at me began to notice my change. And what they said next, I'll never forget. Chapter 8. People noticed my change. It happened on a normal school day. I was sitting at my desk reading an English story. The bell rang. Class was about to start. I was whispering sentences to myself just like I always did. This story is interesting. I like the main character. Then someone tapped on my shoulder. I turned around, and it was her. The same girl who laughed at me before. The same girl who made me feel small on that awful day. She looked at me and said, "Your English is good now." For a second, I didn't know what to say. I just smiled, a big, soft smile. I looked her in the eyes and said, "Thank you." That one word, "thank you," came from deep inside my heart. It was full of strength. It was full of peace. That moment felt like winning a gold medal, not because someone praised me, but because it came from the same person who once made me doubt myself. Her words didn't erase the past, but they showed me how far I had come. People around me began to notice. My friends said, "Your English sounds different now. You speak so well." My teachers said, "You've made great progress." Even the shy students in my class started asking me, "How do you practice? Can you help me?" I used to be the one who stayed quiet. Now others were coming to me for help. I didn't become perfect. I still made mistakes, but people no longer looked at me like I was weak. They looked at me with respect, with interest. That felt special. That felt new. I was no longer the quiet one or the weak speaker. I was a learner, a speaker, a helper. One day during group work, a new student joined our class. He looked lost, just like I used to look. He didn't speak English well. He made a mistake while reading. Some students giggled. My heart hurt for him. I stood up and said, "It's okay. Take your time." I helped him with the sentence. He looked at me, surprised and thankful. That moment made me realize something. I had become what I needed when I first started. I had become a guide, a voice of kindness. My journey had come full circle. It wasn't just about speaking English now. It was about becoming a new version of myself. Someone confident, someone patient, someone who lifts others up instead of laughing at them. The same classmates who once ignored me now asked, "How did you do it?" I told them the truth, one word at a time, one small step every day. I told them I practiced alone. I talked to myself. I watched English cartoons. I labeled things around the house. I used my phone like a teacher. I found language partners. I made English my habit. And I never stopped, even when it was hard. It felt good to share. It felt good to tell people, "You can do it too." Because if someone like me, scared, silent, laughed at, could do it, then anyone could. That chapter of my life was not just about learning English. It was about finding my voice. It was about proving to myself that I am stronger than fear, stronger than shame. And now, I want you to remember something important. One day, people will notice your change too. One day, someone will say, "Your English is good now." And when that day comes, you will smile, just like I did. Not because of the words, but because of the journey. Keep watching, because in the next and final chapter, I will tell you how I went from a shy student to a fluency coach, and how I now help others become confident English speakers, just like you can. Chapter 9. Now I help others like you. Today, I help learners like you. Not because I was always good at English, not because I was always confident, but because I know what it feels like to be afraid. I know what it feels like when people laugh. I know the pain of sitting in a classroom, feeling lost, confused, and small. I was there. I lived it. That's why I understand you so deeply. I don't teach with big grammar books. I don't use difficult words. I teach the way I learned, Simple, slow, step by step. One word at a time, one line at a time. I teach the way that helped me grow, the way that gave me hope. Sometimes people ask me, "What makes you a good teacher?" I smile and say, "Because I was the weakest student once. Because I remember the struggle. That struggle became my strength. And now it helps me guide others. Every time I meet a new learner, I see a piece of my old self in them. I see the fear in their eyes. I hear the doubt in their voice. But I also see their dream. The dream to speak freely. The dream to understand. The dream to be seen and heard. And I tell them, you can do this, just like I did. I give them the same advice I gave myself. Practice every day. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Speak to yourself. Think in English. Use your phone. Find friends to talk to. Make English your habit. And never stop. I see students grow. I see their eyes light up when they speak their first full sentence. I see them smile when someone understands their English. I see the pride they feel, and it fills my heart with joy. This is not just about English anymore. It's about confidence. It's about self-belief. It's about changing your story. And now I look back at the person I used to be, scared, quiet, hiding. I want to hug that version of me and say, thank you for not giving up. Because that person built the person I am today, and you are building your future too. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, every video you watch. It's shaping a new you, a stronger you, a confident you. Remember, I was once where you are now, and now I help others. You can reach this place too, and when you do, maybe you'll help someone else. Maybe you'll become a guide for the next shy student who's afraid to speak. Maybe your story will light the path for others. You don't need perfect English. You need heart. You need effort. You need patience. And I believe, truly believe, that you can do it. So keep going. You are not alone. I'm here, cheering for you. And one day, you'll look back and smile, just like I do now. If my story gave you hope, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who is learning English. And tell me in the comments, has anyone ever laughed at your English? What did you do next? Did you stay silent, or did you decide to grow? I read every comment because your journey matters to me. You are not alone. Let's grow together, step by step. One word, one sentence, one small victory at a time.